Where's Johnny?
Who's the best?
Put that cookie down!
What's in the box? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
This is Video Store Clerks. Welcome to the store.
God damn rats. We have rats in the video store.
They're everywhere.
We're live. Welcome. It's Tuesday night. It's time for our live stream. Welcome to the Video Store Clerks Podcast. Welcome one. Welcome to the store. We are your clerks for the evening. I'm Dave.
Chapman.
Mike.
Nasty.
And joining us tonight, yes, we have a very special guest. Oh, I thought you were going to say something. I'm sorry. Yes, these are some of his works. Robert Essig is an author of over 20 books, including Baby Fights, Infected Voices, and Secret Basements. Ooh, what's in those basements? He has published over 150 short stories, most recently in The Never Dead and Razorblade in the Bite-Sized Candy. Robert is also the editor of 3 small press anthologies, most recently Chew on This. And the young man was also nominated for a Splatterpunk Award. He is Mr. Robert Essig.
Hey. Good to be here. Good to be here.
Yes, thank you. Yes, the gentleman has a very impressive resume. He's a busy man, and he's taken some time to hang out with us tonight, which is awesome. So thank you for being here, good sir.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah,
you
man.
here.
It's my birthday episode, so it's even better that you're on here. So, you know.
Nice. Happy
It's
birthday.
guaranteed to be a good time, you know?
That's right. It is a very special episode. It's Chuck Nasty's birthday.
Well, yesterday.
It was
Close enough.
yesterday on the 13th. The 13th, because of course it is.
The celebration must continue.
And what we got him this year, we let him pick the movie.
He was very happy. He was like, you guys pick some dumb shit. And we were like, fuck it then. Take something.
Well, then find something else.
And he selected 1990's Graveyard Shift.
The Graveyard Shift. I love this one.
Graveyard Shift. That's
Yep.
right. It is the classic tale of boy comes to town, boy needs a job, boy gets a job, boy fights giant rat bat monster thing. So I guess it's not a normal story after all, but it is the Graveyard Shift, and we'll be talking about that tonight. But first, we will start the program as we always do, and that is with the news.
What do you have going on for us? They're still inside searching for evidence. I'm told 6 people have been arrested and charged with intent to possess and deliver cocaine. I'm told as much as 44 pounds of cocaine.
That didn't look like no cocaine I ever seen.
He said cocaine. It was a cocaine.
Not the addiction I have.
In Chadman's possession, he has the top 10.
Top 10.
The top
movies.
10 movies, the top 10 domestic box office champions over this past weekend. What do we got?
Number 10, The Last Showgirl. Did $1.5 million this week, putting it up to $1.5 million for the last 5 weeks it's been out.
What the fuck is that? I've never heard of it.
Me neither.
And what happened to all the other showgirls?
All that.
It's
yeah.
Broken. It's that new Pamela Anderson movie. That's all I know.
Broken.
I'm glad she's stepping away. Oh wait, no, that sounds about right. She's trying to do the whole Demi Moore thing and come back and be all, I don't know.
Better try harder.
I don't know what it is.
But number 9, That's a real game changer.
Oh yeah,
The Game Changer.
oh, I don't know what that is neither.
Came out this week. It pulled in $2 million. Me either. And then number 8 is Baby Girl, doing $3 million this week, putting its 3-week release to 21.7.
I'm 0 for 3.
That's the A24 joint.
Oh yeah.
Number 7, A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Doing 5.1 mil this week, putting it up to 51 mil for the last 3 weeks.
I really want to see that. I got a buddy that's a real big Dylan fan, and he says it's awesome. So I'm a sucker for biopics too, especially if they're good.
Yeah. I've seen Bob Dylan in concert. It's pretty good.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
What? I don't know.
Not bad. Number 6, Wicked, did 5.1 this week. The last 8 weeks, it's pulled up $459 million.
Boo. Fuck that movie.
Bringing up number 5 to Moana Deuce. Moana 2.
Clarify that before you get in
Moana
trouble.
2. Doing 6.5 mil. The last 7 weeks, it's brought in $435 million.
Damn.
Not really a deuce.
No.
Done pretty well.
No, it's doing all right. And number 4, Stash Ferratu. Did 6.9 mil this week, bringing its 3-week release up to $81.9 million.
I still want to see that. And actually, I've seen what he looks like. I think he looks kind of cool. Like, I like there's a little bit of a change up. I mean, of course, everybody wants, the same bald head, rat-looking dude that we all know and love because he's my favorite vampire. But it makes perfect sense that they change his look just a little bit. But I'm dying to see the fucking movie, no matter what anybody says. If you're a fan of that dude's stuff, then you like it, and if you're not, then you don't get it. Everybody's personal preference, but I think sometimes movie can be a lot longer than a lot of people seem to think it needs to be. But if the story has to be told, the story has to be told.
No, I ain't opposed to long movies. I just like interesting ones.
I haven't seen it yet, but
Tom Selleck Ferratu.
What, Rob?
I haven't seen it yet, but hopefully within maybe the next couple of days or something. It's been on my radar, but I don't get out to the movie. I don't see many movies out in the theater these days.
I don't either. I've seen maybe 3 movies in the theater the past 8-9 years. Those guys have a fucking time.
Same for me.
Yeah, I don't like people, so
I mean, half the time we go, it's empty. So, works out. Oh, yeah. Number 3, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. With 11.3 mil this week, bringing it out to $205 million in the last 4 weeks. And then number 2 is Mufasa. Did 14.1 mil this week, bringing it up to 190 in the last 4 weeks.
I forgot that was a thing.
How?
Honestly, I just don't pay attention. I've been trying to stay off social media as much as possible. Too much bullshit in here.
I see ads all the time.
But I will say, though, I am a fan of Lion King. That's always been one of my favorite Disney movies. So I'm kind of curious about it.
I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through.
You never seen Lion King all the way through?
I don't believe so.
I haven't either.
Man. Well, okay. Whatever. It's a fun story, okay?
The only cartoons I watched back then was like Fritz the Cat.
Isn't the Lion King based on Stephen King? The Lion King?
Oh, shut up. Don't even start this shit. Hey,
Stay tuned, everybody.
This is my birthday episode, motherfucker. Don't you start that king bashing, okay?
Hey, I'm just asking.
This is going to be a fun one.
I'll come through this screen. No, I won't. But,
Dave, you can get physical up there. And the number 1 movie of the week is Den of Thieves, Pantera.
Oh, yeah.
Did $15.1 million.
There you go.
Yeah, I saw O'Shea Jackson Jr. posted they got the number 1 spot this week. I was like,
I don't give a fuck about that movie at all. But when I first saw the trailer, I was really stoned, and all I heard was blah 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 Pantera. And I was like, what?
Pantera's in it. What?
You don't say.
Yeah, I was like, why is Ice Cube's kid in a biopic? What? Playing Phil Anselmo.
That is your top 10 for this week. In other news, just want to say real quick, our hearts go out to the people in California suffering from those devastating wildfires over the past week. And they're still going on. It's horrible. You see pictures of it. It looks like a movie. It looks like a sci-fi movie, but it's not. It's real. It's real life. These are real people. It's not just rich and famous people that live out there. It's normal people like us that, were this time last week were literally running for their lives, and they came back. Their house was, their neighborhood, their whole community is just gone.
Yeah, but let's make sure it's known though. This is not a fact of an accident or anything like that. There's video footage of people driving around setting these fucking fires. Like,
allegedly, I don't know if I believe that.
I've seen a lot of these fucking videos of like people like driving along like fucking like, the edge of like roads, just setting fires, man. And like there's news reports that caught certain shit. Like, I don't know, man. This is too big of an issue for it to be a wildfire or one person. This is a plan to take over America, and it starts at Hollywood. Hollywood's gonna. I always thought Hollywood was gonna fall into the ocean, but I guess burning is a totally different kind of look on things. Kind of makes sense. But at the same point, regardless of how I feel about LA and the people, a lot of them that inhabit it, it's very scary, and it's very, very sad, because if the things that I think that are real, that moves any further towards we're all fucked. So yeah.
No, this is something that they've talked about for years, and any of the firefighters out in LA County will tell you that this was a long time coming. They said all it was going to take was the right fire and the right wind, and it would just burn all the way to the ocean. And unfortunately, that's what's happening right now. And there's so much devastation going on, and it just sucks. And the shittiest part is the fact that the negligence of the government out there in LA. Governor Newsom from California, man, they took funding away from the fire departments, didn't clear up the brush, and there's so much shit that they didn't do.
Wonder why they did that.
They could have prevented this, and fucking they fucked it up, and a lot of people were paying for it, and that ain't right. So pisses me off.
Bullshit. It's all bullshit. The government doesn't tell the truth. So I still stand by what I said. I don't. This is something way bigger than we're all seeing. This is a bigger picture than we're being told. Completely, 100%. You can't tell me otherwise. This kind of devastation doesn't just happen unless it's biblical or government wise. And this is something big. But we won't get into all of that more, because I could go for hours, ladies.
Yeah, but all these innocent people, their lives have been turned upside down, and there's been loss of life. They've lost everything, and they got a long, hard road ahead of them. I can tell you that for sure. They got a long, hard road ahead of them to rebuild, and the issues with the insurance, with fire insurance being taken away. I mean, but if you're interested in helping, you can check out the American Red Cross. Their website is redcross.org. There's also another website, the California Fire Foundation. That's cafirefoundation.org, and they give the money directly to the families that are in need and going to be in need. Because it's gone. It's just gone. LA is gone.
It's a weird image, isn't it? Like, yeah. I mean, when they show all that shit, like, I don't know. I don't know. It does. It looks straight up like Mad Max or some shit now.
That's what we were saying. Like, we were watching something about it earlier, and then I was like, man, like that shit almost looks like lava. Like, I'm waiting for like Tommy Lee Jones to be like directing traffic in the background on the street or something.
Right.
Just that movie Volcano.
A lot of people. Sorry.
Kurt Russell all pliskened out from walking down the street.
No, they needed people to be out there directing traffic, man. They fucked so many people over. There was videos where there was like snowplow trucks coming through, like pushing cars off the road because there was such gridlock that people couldn't get out of the city, and they just left their cars and got out on foot. So all these cars are blocking the streets, and the emergency vehicles can't get through. So these big trucks just came in and pushed the cars out of the way, and then everything just sucks about that situation, man.
Yeah, man. It's weird. It's scary. But anyway,
just wanted to, acknowledge that, man. In other news,
is there any bright?
Yeah,
there's kind of not. I'm sorry, Chuck Murphy's birthday episode's kind of turned into a bit of a bummer. Here's a happy one. Well, it's not really happy, but it's not. It's not.
Some of your people in I can't remember.
It seems the director of Alien Romulus, Fede Alvarez, heard our pleas. He heard our criticisms.
He watched our show.
I think he did. Okay. I think he watched our New Year's Eve episode where I was complaining about the CGI that was used in Alien Romulus, especially the one what do you call it? The face
hugger.
Face off.
Nicolas Cage,
where you put the fake face. What the fuck am I? Why am I blanking on this? Deep fake.
Oh,
fake. Okay.
The deep fake of Ian Holm on the Rook character, which I said was totally unnecessary. It looked horrible. It looked horrible on film, so that means it's going to look even worse when it goes to digital. But anyway, he actually convinced the studio to give them extra money to go back and fix it so that it looks better. As he said, they ran out of time, and that's why it looked the way it did. But that goes back to my original criticism, which was, then why do it? Why'd you do it in the first place? Just have an actor in there. Oh God,
so they're going to fix one of many problems in that movie.
Just that one. It's a start.
Should have just went. Should have went with Grand Moff Tarkin.
Grand Moff who?
A Muff Diver. It's a Muff Diver special.
Shout out to Peter Cushing.
Oh,
R.I.P. Oh, good God, the news is depressing. Let's just get out of that.
What about that guy that died?
I know. I knew you were going to bring that up too.
What guy? What guy? Who died?
From Ernest.
Yes, fans of Ernest. If you grew up in the '80s, the skinnier guy passed away. Rob Berg. I'm not sure how you say his last name.
I'm not even.
Raise your hand if you already thought he was dead.
Yeah.
I mean, I was shocked to hear he died again because I thought he died a long time ago. I was like, oh shit, he's been doing shit, breathing and things. I didn't know that was even possible. But,
Bill Burge, I think is how you pronounce it.
Burge.
Word Burge.
Right,
he played Bobby. He played Bobby.
Yeah.
Yes, that guy.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
He was always helping that one guy that had ideas. Ernest, let me tell you about this idea I got here this day. He's kind of like almost like the dad from Gremlins.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're related.
Graham Cracker Bouillabaisse. I love that shit. Ernest goes to camp where they're just cooking up all kinds of shit. One guy's got the lobster. Oh no, yeah, you're going in there. Oh man, we're gonna have to do some Ernest movies one night.
I'm down.
Damn, that brought me back. I haven't seen one of those in forever.
Oh, so good.
Ernest Scared Stupid's always number one, but Ernest Goes to Jail is always my number two. I get a lot of shit.
I like Ernest Goes to Jail.
Electro Man.
The paratrooper turtles. I just popped into my head. You see the turtles with their little parachutes on and everything, and then it has them talking to each other. Like, I'm scared, boss. Oh man, we gotta watch that shit. God, I love
Agreed. Totally agree on that.
But that's for later, because tonight it's Chuck's birthday episode. It's 1990s Graveyard Shift.
We're working the graveyard shift tonight.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, let's get to it. First first overall impressions of the film first. We'll start with our guests. Rob, you tell us, what do you think of 1990's Graveyard Shift?
Well, I think I first saw Graveyard Shift sometime in the 90s, rented it, enjoyed it, but I didn't really remember a whole lot of it. I happened to watch it about a year ago. And I'd read the story too. I don't, when I was a teenager, don't really remember much about the story, but I dig the movie. I can't say whether, as far as the adaptation of the Stephen King story, I can't remember the story, but I thought the movie's pretty good. I like the just the whole setup. It's creepy and atmospheric, which I like, and I love practical effects. Mm-hmm. So the giant freaking, like you said earlier, rat thing was really cool. Sometimes it seemed like it had those bat wings or some shit, but then it had like a rat head. But I like how they sort of throughout the movie just show you little glimpses of it, like the eyeball up close or something, and don't really linger too long on those effects. And I think it gives them a better effect. But overall, I enjoy the movie. I mean, I kind of didn't totally, I saw it like a year ago, like I said, again, but I watched maybe half of it. So the other night when I watched the whole thing, I was like, damn, this is pretty good. I didn't remember that much about it.
Nice. All right, Nasty. Well, we know what you think, but go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So Graveyard Shift, as a whole, has been a favorite movie of mine since I was a kid. It used to come on Fox 56 and 19XIX, and I don't know if I ever watched it on HBO or not, but I used to watch a lot of horror movies and shit on there too, so it might have been. There was just something about it. When I was a kid, I loved the creature aspect. Like Robert said, you saw little glimpses here and there, and
hey.
I'll have to see that in a second because of my phone, but whatever. The little glimpses here and there of the monster, of the creature, like, definitely gives it a little bit more mystery. You're like, I want to see this thing. Like, I can't wait. Like, because that was back when a lot of creature features did that. It's like Tremors. You know how it took a minute before you actually saw the actual creature. This had kind of the same effect for me. But I've watched this movie. It's up there in the top 10 most watched movies of my life. Because as an adult, when I was in my mid-20s, I found it. I could never remember what it was called. It was a simple title, Graveyard Shift. I just remember a giant bat rat thing, whatever the fuck. And then somebody was like, oh, that sounds like a Stephen King movie. And I was like, oh, okay. And I looked it up and I found it. And then, man, I have been in love with that movie ever since I found it again. Like, it's just, there's something about it. As I get older too, it reminds me of like, the town I grew up in. The way, it's nostalgic in a lot of ways for me to watch it, because I remember, certain things of like how, certain people did for jobs and the different, meals and all this shit or whatever as a kid. And there's a lot of places, there's just the scenery, and it reminds me of places that I remember seeing as a kid. But I love a good creature feature, and this one just is kind of perfect to me. I went and saw Stephen King speak a few years back, and he trashed the fuck out of this movie. It broke my little heart. I was like, God damn, well, I still like it. Actually, I love it. And, but whatever. I don't know. People think I'm crazy for thinking it's like for saying it's one of my favorite movies, but it really is one of my favorite movies. I think it's just fun. I think the character development on everything is great. I mean, like, you get to know how big of an asshole Warwick is, like that. You're like, oh, this guy's, he's the villain. He's an asshole. You learn about his doings, like, in just a couple of scenes. You realize, okay, this chick he's having issues with that he works with, oh, he's also knocked her up, and they're having a whole affair thing, whatever. Like, you have the drifter. The drifter. He comes in, like, and he has this whole, like, oh, the college boy, and then you already kind of know about him even without even really needing to know much about him. You know what I mean? Like, all right, he's seen some hard times. He's moving on. He's trying to go somewhere. You don't need to always have to like tell the entire story, but just enough to get a fucking feel for these characters. Even the assholes, the dude from Wishmaster and all that shit, same thing. Like, I think that the character development in this is just so quick and like just perfect. It's just fun. Warwick is one of my favorite villains. Like that, not like a supernatural villain or anything like that, but just asshole in a movie. Because one, it's the dad from Monster Squad, and it's really weird to see him be such a dick because you kind of forget.
That's all I could see with him, and I started laughing every time he started being crazy.
Star Surge, like yeah, there's something about the way he talks, the way he acts. You're like, this guy is like the ultimate piece of shit, and he shows himself in front of everybody a couple of times in this movie. But I love the build up to the end of it. It goes a little off the rails, of course, at the end, but yeah, overall, I have talked way too long for just my quick little thing here, but yeah, I love this fucking movie. It's fun, and if anybody hasn't seen it, they definitely should definitely watch it. Getting into it, come on.
All right, Mike.
What's this poster?
Oh.
Saw it in the theaters with their mom.
Nice.
You know what? I have never seen this film until this week.
Really?
It was the first time I seen it, and I think Stephen King was right when he said this film's dog shit. Are
you serious?
I just want to see your reaction. No, oddly enough, what I do remember from back in the day is the cover art. With the skull and everything like that, but I don't know if I remember it, but I feel like I got it confused with My Bloody Valentine because it seems very similar. Where it's, the guy with the mask and everything like that. So I maybe at some point I was like, oh, it's just My Bloody Valentine, and I just never bothered to look into realizing it was another film completely. I don't know, but I do remember the cover art. But yeah. Up until this week, I hadn't seen it before. It was a fun little thing. It seemed like a little extended Tales from the Crypt episode. You know what I mean?
True.
Had that vibe. I don't know. It's one of those ones I'll probably never watch again. I'm sorry, Chuck. It just didn't get me excited or anything like that. I thought that the rat aspect was creepy and everything. I agree with you that Stephen Mock's character of Warwick, he's probably the best thing in the film. And the thing that kept, what's that?
Come here, boy.
Every time I saw him on the screen, the only thing that kept popping in my head was I was like, he looks like an older version of John Bernthal.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's John Bernthal?
He's Punisher. He was Shane in Walking Dead.
Okay, I couldn't remember what his name was, but yeah, I said the same thing when I rewatched it the other night.
I was like, dude, that could be John Berthal's dad. Just with the way he's got the scruff and everything like that. I was like, he looks just like him. And then the other guy, Hall, played by David Andrews, the whole time I was looking at him, I thought he was Mark Harmon from NCIS. I was like, man, what the fuck? And I was like, nope, it's neither one. I knew obviously it's not John Bernthal because it's fucking from 1990. Man, this 35-year-old film. It's crazy. Practical effects. Yep. I'll give it credit for that. The practical effects, I always love those. They do a good job of kind of teasing it because the whole time I'm like, I want to see this thing, because what's going on? At first, the guy gets pushed into the thing and we don't know if it's a person or what. And then as it goes on, there's like a little bit more. And then finally you get like the full thing and you're like, what the hell is that? Is that a bat? Because you see these like wing type things going around the guy and everything. And I was like, is it a bat or is it a rat? Because I'm thinking it's like the Rat King or something like that from Ninja Turtles or something. But
another toothpick.
But I mean, it goes kind of hand in hand because people always make that joke like, bats are only rats with wings. So there you have it. But yeah, Warwick is a fun character, and obviously Brad Dourif as the exterminator was a fun character. I wish we could have got to see more of him and maybe get a little bit more of his story and everything like that. Probably the best scene as far as acting goes was when he's sitting there talking to Hall about being back with the war and the rats, how they tie somebody down and have the rat cut him open and the rats would go inside him and everything like that. I thought that was a really good story and everything like that.
Bowls of rice.
Yeah,
Dumping on them. Yeah.
but yeah, Brad Dourif is always great. You got Andrew Divoff from Wishmaster and a number of other films. I think he's a good actor. You don't really get to see too much of him. He's just kind of like a secondary character. But this is probably early on, in his career. I don't have his stuff up, but right about that time. And it's a shame because his house is probably one of the houses that burned down in LA, because I remember years ago I went out. I was living in Ohio. Robert Kurtzman from KNB Studios would every year, because he's from Ohio as well, and he would have like this little horror thing on Halloween where it was like he'd set up his own little haunted house type thing and have people come through. And the one year, because he did Wishmaster, he was going to have Andrew Divoff there at the haunted house and everything like that. So I went up there, and it turns out that he couldn't be there because at that time, even like 20 years ago, Kurtzman was telling me, he was like, yeah, man, he's out there. He's literally on his roof. He just called me like an hour ago, and he was on his roof of his house, like trying to put out a fire. So like even years ago, people were dealing with this kind of stuff. So hopefully, I don't know if he moved since then or whatever, but hopefully him and his family and everybody's doing all right, because he's a great actor. I always loved the Wishmaster films and everything. Okay. I don't know what that comment was about, but yeah, you got several different actors in this film that kind of stand out. So those are things that kind of I enjoyed for the most part. I don't know. I guess I wanted, I don't know what else I wanted from this film. Maybe more to the story. I don't know. I know it's very different from the short story that King wrote back in like 1970 or whatever. It was like in Cavalier magazine, and I think that was the big issue that he had, is kind of they went off script with this and kind of went in a different direction for the most part. There's some similarities, of course, but like from what I've seen, I didn't read the whole short, but especially at the end, once Warwick gets eaten by, I guess it's like a king rat or a queen rat rather, that's just like reproducing and trying to make as many rats as possible. He gets eaten by the queen, and then Hall's trying to escape, and he doesn't escape. He gets eaten by the rats in the short story. So, completely different outcome there. But I don't know. It was all right. But I don't. It wasn't one of those ones. It's one of those ones I'll never watch again. Unfortunately, it just didn't. It didn't excite me or anything like that. It didn't have anything where I'm like, oh yeah, I got to go back and watch it again. So,
but you didn't hate it though, right?
I didn't hate it. No.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad your opinion was close to mine.
They are getting crazy.
Well, thank you. Crazy.
I just watched the Metallica short on Facebook today.
No. Go check out their YouTube. That's Tamara and Michelle Emilio. You can check out them. They do all kinds of spoof videos and everything. We love you guys.
Have you guys seen Spontaneous Combustion? I've never heard of it.
I have not.
No.
That'd be a really interesting thing to see.
Might have to check it out.
All right, check, man. What's your initial thoughts of The Graveyard Shift?
It starts out pretty slow, but I mean, you have to have that little background. I did like the teasing of the rat monster. I love when Warwick goes crazy.
Yeah.
Like that shit had me fucking cracking up when he starts just fucking like wiping dirt on his face, and then
War to war.
He goes completely crazy. He loses his fucking mind. Like it kind of changes the like the feeling of the movie whenever he starts going like all commando.
Yeah.
Like, because it is kind of comical. It's like, well, where the fuck did this come from? Like, the whole movie, he kind of builds up to like he knows something, but like him just going complete like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Predator, wiping shit all over his face, and then like I know we're jumping ahead here, like way the fuck ahead. But like, I mean, he jumps on that fucking thing and he says something like, "What? Like, we're both going to hell."
Going to hell together.
Yeah. And it's just like, what was the reason? Like, what did this? I mean, if you knew this thing was real, like, I don't know. Like, I get he's angry, maybe, but it just kind of happens all at once.
The way it kind of comes off though, like they just didn't get a job. Like it's almost like they're on work release from prison. And
Yeah,
it's like here, you got to go clean this shit up, and they're all in orange jumpers. So it's like, wait a minute, like what happened? Because whenever they fucking actually go down there and they're sitting there listening to the Beach Boys, and fucking Brogan has his fucking water hose. That shit, like that dude's been in a lot of shit too. Like everybody in this movie, I've seen numerous times somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like it definitely had a decent cast for being a bunch of like just like mid-level players. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
I don't think it was terrible. It's a little boring in the beginning, I feel, but then like the last 20, 30 minutes, it picks up.
I don't see it boring.
I remember the Bat Monster though from whenever I was a kid, because like Chuck said, like I remember seeing this forever ago, and then whenever I found it again, I was like, it's this fucking movie. Like, I know I've seen this shit because I know I rented the movie because of the cover. I was just like, this fucking looks dope. Let's go ahead and get it. Like it was like one of those nights where you grab that, like a Face of the Death video, and then like something else, like the Relic or something stupid.
Yeah, the art of the cover art, I feel like, is a lost art.
It is.
When we were kids, like I couldn't have told you if you showed a frame of this movie to me, I would have no idea what it was. But if you just show the cover art, that's Graveyard Show. And any movie that had a skull, like Evil Dead 2, Faces of Death, Creep Show, if it had a skull on it, it got my attention. Yeah, and I probably picked it up and rented it.
Yeah, we just talked about this with Silent Night, Deadly Night. That cover art is phenomenal. And then you watch the film and you're like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Garbage.
Yeah, like the Nightmare on Elm Street cover art, the Indiana Jones, even fucking Police Academy had that hand painted cover art back in the day. Yeah. But yeah, this movie, this is one you watch with your friends. This is a movie you rent with your buddies, and it took me back to like the summertime when you're off school and you're hanging out with your friends, staying up all night. This is a movie that's on late night TV or USA Up All Night, something like that.
Exactly.
On TV.
Something you might watch on Joe Bob.
Or Joe Bob, yeah, there you go.
Spontaneous combustion. We go on the list then.
Those fucked up rats. I enjoyed the character.
Fucked up rats.
The books and music cover art is still banging.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Although that song at the end for the end credits was kind of weird.
Yeah, they had all those sound bites from the characters.
Dude, I listen to that in my fucking car. It's on a playlist. I'm not kidding. Like, it's so ridiculous, but like okay, like going back to the characters and stuff, just those memorable moments where you like certain things are said that you remember, and you're like, like the Warwick shit, like graveyard shift, and the way he talks and all that. Like, I don't know. And I think that song is so great though. It's very repetitive, but it's very groovy. I don't know. It's cool to drive to.
Yeah, the New England accents go hard in this movie.
Oh yeah.
I'll say that.
The Lovely Town of Apple Rock.
Well, the thing about Warwick though is like I've watched other YouTube videos and read things where people can't really say where he's from. They're like he has a very.
I swear I heard a little bit of like Cajun And I'm like, is this guy supposed? And then I'm like, no, it's New England, right? Like,
Right.
I was a little confused. It was like a little
Chowder.
bit of this and that.
Like he also sounded like he was like from a different country at times too. So it's like that's been like apparently a thing since this movie came out. No one can figure out where Warwick's from. Like, what the fuck is he like? Why is he talking this way? Because one minute he sounds like he's related to the chick from Pet Cemetery, and like the next minute he sounds like he's like a foreign exchange student from Russia.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I heard a little bit of Russian in there too.
No, that was
I don't know.
that was dancing.
Yeah, he has it's like a mixture of New England and a Southern drawl.
Yeah,
It's weird.
Weird. Yeah, it's this weird combination.
Something being pulled both ways, you know.
Mr. Warwick.
That's probably why he's such an asshole. Is like he had like the guys from the South hating him because he was talking like the North, and like he had the people from like the North hating him because like the South. That's why he just decided to just be an asshole right in the middle. Oh.
I do declare.
Yeah, it's weird. It's so strange. I mean, he's such a good character though. There's always got to be that villain before like the monster. You know, there's always that asshole in a movie. And I don't know. I've always been kind of obsessed by the way he fucking talks. It's fucking stupid. I do Warwick impressions more than a normal person should. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm just reading, like, the graveyard shifts. It's so stupid.
That's the Warwick you do impressions. I thought you did Dionne Warwick impressions. I was way off.
I thought you meant Warwick Davis.
Oh, geez. See? Miscommunication.
This is going off the rails.
Yeah, now I'm just picturing. Remember the picture
back now, fellas.
Remember the picture of Chuck on Dave's shoulders when he was the little guy. Now I'm picturing Chuck as Warwick Davis and Willow just running around with Mad Mardigan.
What the fuck? But the characters,
Shut up, folks. It's been fun. Thanks.
Like
Happy birthday.
With the characters, Chuck, I knew like either Warwick or the Exterminator was going to be your favorite. I actually like the Exterminator.
I love them. They're great. Let's talk about fucking Brad Dourif for a second. God damn.
There's times when you see a character like last week we talked a little bit about Johnny Depp in Once Upon a Time in Mexico. How it just looks like, man, this guy's having fun with this character. And it looks like every time Brad Dourif is in something, he goes all in, and he just looks like he's having a fucking blast. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if he really is. He might be miserable on set. I don't know. But like with this character, he just looks like he's having fun.
Like that whole monologue when he's talking about, like, you know, we were talking about earlier about the rats and the rice and all that. Like, man, what a moving fucking moment. Like, at first, like, you know, he's looking at old dude, like, he's like, man, I'm not one of these fucking Vietnam crack ups, like, you know, Bruce Dern plays, like, so you quit your fucking smile. You know, but then he goes into this, like, this heart wrenching recollection of what he saw, what he witnessed, all this shit, and like, there's this tear that you see just running down his face, and you're like, God damn, man, that's fucking hard. That's probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when he's like completely, and you're like, dude, Brad Dourif is an amazing actor. He's not just fucking Chucky. Like, no, this is probably actually one of my favorite characters from him because he's so, like, you believe he's that guy. You know, when dude asked him for a cigarette and he's like, no, I quit after the first wife or whatever, and he's like, I've got a big thing of dip in his mouth. Like, I don't know. He's a great character completely.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, that was one of the scenes that stood out to me because, and I know Dourif is such a great actor. I mean, the first time I saw Cuckoo's Nest, I mean, this guy, he deserves a lot more appreciation than what he gets. You know, just because he did the voice of Chucky. I mean, he's done so much more, and just a great actor all around, man. So props to him.
Yeah, definitely my favorite character.
Poor Mox.
And And he gets like the shitty kill. I wanted him to go out in a blaze of glory. You know, I figured he was going to go down in there. You know, he's gonna fight all these fuckers off. You know, maybe a flamethrower or something. No, he gets. I don't even know. So he's going down in the crypts or whatever. Does it just slide and crush him?
I wondered the same thing. I thought maybe I missed it too.
Or did the creep?
Yeah,
the monster pushed it.
The monster pushed it. Because I actually did not. I couldn't remember either. Because me and my oldest actually introduced them to it the other night, and they loved it. Had a lot of sympathy for the Rat King, the bat thing, but whatever. But we both were paying attention, and it was like, oh shit, because I always thought that it just slid off, like it was just it was kind of like Creep Show, you know, like when Creep Show and the shit slides off, but you kind of see like the creature sliding away, so it leaves you to believe that it was the one that knocked it over and crushed him. But yeah, got kind of a shitty kill. But as soon as that dog was dead, as soon as you heard old Moxie. Yeah, I love how he talks the dog up to Warwick. He's like, Moxie over, she's a killer, man. Let me tell you. And he wants this dog to be such a badass, and it's a poodle.
Yeah,
it's great. It's great.
And the way he talks about the dog so affectionately, you know, you think there's this like super bond between the two of them, and you know, and then as soon as the dog goes down in there and doesn't come back out, and he's going down there, he's like, ain't no money worth all this, and then he's like, ain't no dog either. just like that, he's like, fuck this dog.
I'll buy another one.
Yeah. Oh, there he is in the background.
Ain't no dog either.
Yeah, man. I wish you would have had a more blaze of glory ending there. You know, just him down in there with a flamethrower and then trying to take out all them rats, and then the big one finally comes and just gets him. But no, he gets the smush.
Yeah, man.
Just like grape.
Yeah, I kind of do wish he was in it just a little bit longer.
Squish your head.
Yeah, he got the Creep Show treatment with the tombstone. That's for sure.
Cool. Brad Dourif is an amazing actor in most everything I've seen him in. And his daughter Fiona on the Chucky TV show is an amazing actress. And I love that they were both in the TV series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sounds just like him.
Yeah. Kind of looks like him, too, whenever she makes certain
I was going to say, wasn't there an episode where she dressed up as him or something? And she looked just like him?
She plays Charles. Like the younger version of Charles Lee Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, it was. Yeah,
because there was.
Yeah, hold on, go on.
No, I was going to say there's a lot of people that didn't realize that one that was a woman, and two that it was his daughter. So, yeah, does a great job on that show.
No, yeah, she definitely looked just like him when he was younger from the first movie. I hated that show though. After the second season, I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But whatever. That's a totally different subject.
He's in another show that I love, Deadwood.
Ah, yes, as the Doctor. It's a great fucking show. It's an amazing show.
Mm-hmm.
He's such an amazing actor, dude. Anything he does. Because I remember, I saw Cuckoo's Nest, you know, way like after I saw Child's Play and all that shit. Yeah. And when I saw Cuckoo's Nest and seeing how young he was, and just seeing like, that was like his first movie, and it was always interesting to me how he always kind of did like this weird Jack Nicholson thing. You know what I mean? Like he kind of has like this like bizarro Jack Nicholson kind of sound, even with Chucky especially.
Mm-hmm.
Like seeing him like in that movie with him like so young, it's like, oh, this is where, because you actually work beside the man that would like completely like pretty much create Chucky's voice. Like I don't know, like it just always blew my mind that was the same guy like in all this shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I had another point. Sorry, I wasted time.
That's all right. So a lot of familiar faces in this movie. We love the practical effects. A lot of nostalgia in this movie, you know, for sure. What were there any kills that stood out to you guys? Were there any favorite kills? I think we can all agree on our least favorite kill.
What was the least favorite kill?
Terminator.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the one from the very beginning where that guy is loading up the cotton thing. I don't know what it's called, but then he just gets pushed in. You don't really see anything. You just see the blood and the cotton or whatever.
Right.
I was like,
the only real kill you see is Warwick, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you got Brogan whenever he falls in that fucking hole whenever he falls through the steps.
Yeah.
I would say
because the one chick that fell down the steps, and then there's all those little rats around her, and she can't move because her wrist is broken. Apparently, like that shit threw me off.
When the chick gets eaten on the steps,
all the little rats. And
yeah.
He finds the arm downstairs on the hose for some reason.
I'll tell you one of the creepiest scenes that also has a good death scene, even though you don't really see much. When the guy's downstairs and he's looking, he's like the first guy that's supposed to be starting to clean all this shit up or whatever, and he's walking around and all you see are all these rags and shit you think are all over the place, and then you just like see these wings like cover him. Oh, always creep me out. It's like because you don't see it. It's very alien. You know what I mean? How alien, like the xenomorphs kind of always like camouflage into the wall and shit, like in the movies. Yeah. Like, kind of the same feel. Like I like that one a lot. The initial kill of the creature is pretty epic. It's pretty cool, I think. But as people, I would say that it'd be that one. I think. Yeah.
Well, I had a lot of beefs with certain scenes.
Do tell, Chap.
Like there's that one, but then like the chick that fell down the steps, so she couldn't get up, and all they kept showing was her wrist being broke. That kind of threw me off. Like I get you fell down the steps, but you should be able to get the fuck up.
Yeah.
Or at least smack your rats away.
Her leg twist.
You just don't smack rats away with your limp wrist. Like fucking whatever. Fuck off with the rats. Like that shit kind of like irritated me a little bit. And then the end, whenever he fucking shoots an empty fucking soda can at a button with a slingshot, and it turns the machine on, I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
He had to use the can because if you show the gun in Act 1, the gun has to go off in Act 3. That was the soda can.
It wasn't a gun.
It was a soda can.
Yeah, that was empty. That weighs fucking nothing.
I mean,
like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, at least, like, okay, like, whenever I saw him shooting the cans earlier on, I'm like, yeah, at least, like, have him pick up some rocks or something. Like, he's shooting, like, rocks with the slingshot, like, just to pass time. I don't know. Like, yeah. Whatever, but.
Or maybe a punch can and do a little disc would have got better,
Yeah.
The air a little better. But you had to have that product placement with Diet Pepsi, You had to see.
Yeah, like that's all it was.
I was like, I remember those Diet Pepsi cans.
Yeah, that's all it was product placement.
I was watching like when they were in the diner scenes and show like that, like just the stuff. Like I remember going to places like that as a kid with my parents. Like, like just like little just hole in the walls, little places or whatever. Like even like packs of cigarettes look different then. Like I don't know, like everything about it. I do have to say this though. I'm gonna try to switch over to the computer because my phone is telling me it's dying. So I'll try to be back on here in just a minute, guys.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Happy birthday. Get the fuck out of here.
Nice seeing you. Catch you later.
I'll be back.
What's that from?
Murdered now.
The X-Terminator. No. I don't know. What about you, Robert? Is there any kills that stand out to you, or is there any kills that suck that you really were like, oh man, this could have been better?
I was thinking about it. For some reason, I guess the kills weren't great enough to stand out because I don't really, none of them. Strangely enough, the one that stands out is the Exterminator. I don't know why his head getting smashed. That one I remember, but I don't know what I just watched it 2 days ago. Yeah, outside of the rat and the end getting sucked into the machine, that guy at the very beginning getting sucked in the machine, I don't even really remember how the hell anyone else dies in the movie. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I guess they were kind of unremarkable for me.
Mm-hmm. That was one of my other beefs, though, was whenever they like the rat tail gets sucked in. Like at some point, the rat tail's gonna just break because that rat's not like he's clamped onto that fucking.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Floor, so he's not gonna get like the rat tail's gonna fall off before anything. Like I don't know, like that. It's not gonna fucking do that. There ain't no way.
Plus,
Yeah,
plus,
yeah, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, just animalistic nature. If you think, a creature would, like creatures out in the forest that get caught in like bear traps or shit like that, they'll like gnaw off their leg, their own leg, just to survive, to get out of that. Right. So I would have been not surprised if the rat just like chewed off its tail and then went after the guy or whatever, or the bat. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's a bat. It's a rat.
I don't know
it's
either.
Rat.
It's a cat in a hat.
I feel the same way about the kills. I feel like they could have did a lot more with it. I mean, you had a giant bat rat monster that really could have fucked a lot of shit up.
As I'm watching it, though, I'm like, why don't they remake something like this? Something that has the potential that could be done way better.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that. Because they remake movies that we know the name of very well that should be made, Yeah,
doesn't
the easy money franchises instead of trying to do
exactly.
Like you could make this movie so much better, I feel, especially today. I mean, maybe still use majority of the practical effects, but they can make it a lot more grim.
Uh-oh. I heard a beep.
Nope. Oh.
Could it be?
There in the dark.
In the darkness.
It's a disembodied head.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to move. Yeah. What did I miss? What did I miss?
Oh, we were just talking about how this fucking movie sucks.
Oh, fuck you.
No, we were talking about how the kills didn't really have enough substance to them, and that we wanted more from the kills in this film.
Well, I mean, I get that. Like, they could have done a little bit more with the kills and shit, of course. But I guess it also goes down to that thing that I've been hearing a lot about lately, quiet horror. So it's like kind of a quiet horror kind of thing. Like, it gives you kind of what you want. Like, there could be a little bit more substance to certain things. Like, the death scenes could have been a lot more, gross. I would have gone the gross route.
That's what I was saying. Like, if they're going to remake movies all the time, they should remake something like this that has potential, that could definitely get better visuals later on down the road.
But I think not showing everything too, though, is not always a bad thing. And I don't think that the fact that the death scenes weren't completely graphic and whatever, like, I don't think that ruined anything. Like, would have been cool, yeah, of course. But I think that also sometimes it's better the imagination. That's all.
It didn't necessarily bother me because I was, when you were gone, saying that none of the death scenes really stuck out that much to me. But I think it was
Rob was shitting all over this.
Yeah, and then I was like, he's gone. This movie sucks. But I like I think what I appreciate actually more about the movie, watching it as an adult than when I did when I first saw it as a teenager, is that I've always been a blue collar worker. So I really it resonated with me a lot, just having all these people and this dickhead boss and all that kind of stuff. So that kind of, was interesting enough for me to, not necessarily find it boring or anything leading up to all the rat goodness at the end. But who doesn't like more gore? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. I don't find it boring at all. Sometimes if the characters are good, because these guys, you mentioned the word boring a few times. Sorry guys, love you all, but your opinion sucks if you don't like this movie. But I think that the characters are good. When the characters are good, the actors are good, then sometimes that build up's even better. There's a lot of good actors in this movie, and there's a lot of like cool scenes where the monsters aren't around. Like what we talked about with Brad Dourif's character. Like him with Warwick, him with Hall. Is that dude's name?
Yeah, John Hall.
Yeah. Like
no relation
those
to
are
Scott Hall.
Two great scenes, right? Those are two great scenes, that have really not much to do with the monster and all that shit, or whatever, but it goes along with the plot overall, of getting rid of the rats and all this shit or whatever. And like the acting is so good in it, and the scenes are just even down to like, when they're down and that whole scene, old dude's got the fucking hose and he's just going crazy. And then for some stupid fucking reason, that the half bald dude, the guy that needs to shave his head, the guy that did the Warwick impression, and Warwick was like, oh, and he's like clapping, and he's like, I will put you on Star Search. Like he sees that, and he just thinks it's a great idea. He's audition, and he puts his hand in the darkness of that. Why would you do that? Everywhere. Why would you think that is what a dumb dick? That's dumb. But that is a memorable scene
survive,
because it's so stupid and it's funny. Huh?
Brogan, get over here.
Yeah, aren't him and Hall the only ones that survived? Because he got fired.
Yeah, he got.
Oh yeah, he walked away.
Yeah.
I think.
Come here, boy.
He die somehow? I don't remember. Did anybody notice
I'm trying
the reference to Willard? The movie Willard, rap movie?
Yeah.
There's a scene. Do you notice it?
I think I
the
did.
Scene in in the diner in the background, someone's reading the novelization of the book Ben. And right when that happens, one guy says, "Oh, here's the Rat Man," and Willard's based on a book called Diaries of the Rat Man or something like that. But I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't usually catch that kind of shit.
I actually never picked that up. Well, I didn't even pay attention to it until rewatching it. When I rewatched it, and I was like, "Oh shit, Ben's the name of the fucking main rat in Willard." That's another good one. Both are the original and remake I actually like. But I'm glad I'm not the only one that caught that. Yeah. Old crazy Glover. Trying to fucking karate kick Dave Letterman in the head when he was on acid.
Woo! Man, I haven't seen that one in a long. I think I saw the remake when it first came out. That was the last time I saw it.
I got on
I feel bad for the
I
rats.
watched it.
How are you gonna get mad at rats for being
back.
rats?
I like rats. Like me and my ex had a rat. Well, she had a rat before we got together, but he used to sleep on my chest and drag his big old nuts across me.
Yeah, I don't see what the big deal is. I had hamsters when I was a kid, so maybe that's why. I don't know.
That's an awkward thing to say, Chad.
I mean, it's true.
He had some rats.
He had some big old nuts on him.
Whoa!
And the cat was afraid of it.
Well,
go figure.
That's
I lived in a house once with rats in the freaking attic that crawled around through the walls and shit at night.
Yeah, I mean, street rats are fucked. Like them rats up in New York and shit, they're like the size of possums around here.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, fuck that.
Fuck all that shit. I'm not a big fan of possums either.
I don't need a fucking dog-sized rat. You fucking
no thanks.
No, I'm good.
Talking after
that. What were we talking about besides what were we?
Oh, the rats. We like rats.
Oh,
yeah. What the big deal is.
No,
little rodents.
No, I've always been a fan of rats and show like that in movies and books and all that. Because I mean they're terrifying. You can do a lot with it. I had an experience one time where I went to the Rocky Horror Picture Show for the first time at a theater. And this is when my microphone cuts out, just so you know. But I went to a theater with a couple of female friends of mine from school. I was 17 or 18. And we ended up just crashing at one girl's house, and it was in the dark. I didn't see shit. I woke up to a rat cage this close to my face, and it just spinning. And I was like, what is that sound? And then we all kind of camped out in the living room. And one girl was like, "Oh, that's her rat." And I was like, "Oh, cool. Wait, why is it next to my head?" And she's like, "Oh, it's okay. Like, out once in a while too, but whatever." And I was like, "Oh my God." And I woke up with a rat that was covered in tumors, pretty much sitting on my face because they just let it just go wherever. And so ever since then, I have had a complete, like, that was terrifying. Like that I wasn't waking up with a fucking rat covered in tumors. Like, you talking about ball sacks, Chad? Like, oh, you remember this little ball sack? Like, no. Try about 1,000 little ball sacks all over its fucking body, but they're hard. And it's a rat.
Was his name Rat-Tat-Tumor?
I can't remember what the rat's name was, but that's yeah. So that scarred me.
Our rat was Bobo.
Good story.
Bobo.
I didn't know where that story was going to go, but I'm never disappointed.
Well, I knew this girl once that had a gerbil. Oh, what?
Oh, wait, what?
I said, Brody, how else do we get the gerbil out?
Richard?
So this is episode 141. In every episode, we get a little bit more of Chuck's backstory.
Speaking of Richard, they work at Bachman Mills. Shout out to your boy Richard Bachman, Chuck.
I thought you were running where my buddy Richard is.
Well, yeah, of course.
The real author behind the scenes.
Shut your hole, Michael. You just trying to start some shit.
I would never do such a thing. What are you talking about?
Bullshit.
What? Okay, look, Stephen King does. He's gone on record. He does not like this film. You know what his favorite film is?
No, actually? He doesn't. Huh?
You know what his favorite film is?
What?
Liar, Liar.
Shut the fuck up. See, Robert, for some reason,
True Lies.
My co-host over here seems to think that Stephen King's a liar.
Lies and videotapes.
And he likes to torture me because Stephen King is a huge influence. So this is kind of a normal thing. So welcome to the shit show. Just figure out. If you feel like jumping in at any time to go against this evil asshole against the king,
in defense of Stephen King,
in defense of Stephen King, then feel free. Just say
cross the final boss.
So does anybody in the chat remember the short story? I just wondered like how close it was to the movie.
I thought he was talking about you too, Richard.
There's
because I have no idea. Well, you said Hall gets killed in the short story, right, Chuck?
Here, no, that's what I said. There's actually a small plot summary of the short. It says a young drifter named Hall is working at a decrepit textile mill in a small town in Maine when the cruel foreman Warwick recruits him and others to assist with a massive cleaning effort. The basement of the old mill has been abandoned for decades, and over the years, a monumental infestation of rats has taken hold. This rat empire, cut off the rest of the nature, has allowed the animals to evolve into a strange and varied combination of creatures, complete with its own bizarre, self-sustaining ecosystem. There are large armored rats. Albino. I was like, am I reading this right? Armored rats? Like fucking armadillos? I don't know. Albino weasel-like rats that can climb up walls or burrow through the ground, and bat-like rats that have evolved to something sizes, like gargantuan sizes. I don't know. The men eventually come across a sub basement locked from the inside. Warwick then enlists Hall to go down and investigate the sub basement, and that he may take whoever he likes. Hall chooses Warwick, who, despite trying to prevent them from entering, is forced to press on. As they make their way through the sub-basement, Hall and Warwick discover that it harbors something more terrifying and hideous than any of them could have dreamed. A cow-sized queen rat with no eyes or legs, whose only purpose is to endlessly breed more rats. Hall sprays Warwick towards the queen with a hose they were using to attack the rats, And as the Queen devours Warwick, Hall makes his way towards the exit while spraying the rats. However, he is overwhelmed and eaten alive by the hordes of mutated rats. Meanwhile, the other team of workers on the surface wondered what happened to them, and with no idea what kind of horror awaits them, prepares to descend into the basement.
Ooh, yeah, let's remake this.
Yeah. I think it's prime. I think it's prime for a remake.
It's been a long time since I read the story that's based on. I knew there was a lot of differences to it, but I forgot how many differences. Yeah, I think that this would be one of those that would be a good candidate for a remake. You get the right cast, the right director, somebody that actually does the story. Huh?
So that was one of my other beefs too. Whenever fucking John sees the rat eating Warwick, and he's just kind of like it doesn't even faze him. Like it's the first time he ever sees this thing, and he's just like looking over the fucking broken floor, like fuck him. He just turns around and walks.
He kind of shakes his head.
Fuck out of here.
I gotta have been like, what?
Like he's kind of. I mean, I would have been like, "Oh, there it is," and I would leave. Like, I get it, but he does this thing where he like shakes his head, like, "Yeah," like that, that Chuck Norris look. Every time it's like justice has been served, like he has that look. Like,
you would have gave him a Chuck Norris look, the rat would have just died.
Yeah, true. Even though I don't like Chuck Norris at all, but apparently the man has mystic powers that we're not sure of. I'm not a Chuck Norris fan. Never have been. Yeah, he annoys the living fuck out of me.
All right.
I am Chuck Norris. Can't do it. It sounds so much like Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson was much better. But anyway. Yeah. Forgot where I was going with that. Next. I think I'm at a point, fellas.
So he wrote this in the 70s.
He did 1970.
Because it sounded like he watched Aliens and then changed it to rats.
First published in the October 1970 issue of Cavalier magazine and collected collected for King's 1978 collection Night Shift.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Who do you all think would be good? Like if they were to remake this movie, who do you think would be good to actually that would do it some justice? Like go with the story and all that.
Jordan Peele.
Shut the fuck up.
What?
Oh, really?
No, I think he could too.
Will we cast John Berthal as Warwick?
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's what I was going to say. We have to have John Berthal as Warwick.
See, look how excited Mike got over that. Like, it's true. Like, I kind of like that idea. That would be kind of cool. I'm down for that shit. I don't know if Jordan Peele's the one that
I think so.
I don't know.
I think they nailed that one with the Jordan Peele. I don't know who else.
I think you're just being a troll now. I don't.
Because what he's doing, he's doing.
Keep it away from Blumhouse. Keep it away.
He's remaking People Under the Stairs, right? That's still a thing.
Yeah, it's still progress.
Is it? Okay.
This film almost kind of has that People Under the Stairs vibe to it. I don't know.
Well,
but it's not
Richard.
People.
It's not that
People
I mean, I don't really.
That's what he's saying. A24.
Oh, okay.
I'm as far as A24. Yeah,
but I'm talking about as far as directors go. I mean, you got who was this guy?
Be a
Ralph
Jordan
Singleton
Peele film with A24 producer. Be all right.
Yeah, because the guy that directed in 1990, the guy that directed in 1990 was Ralph Singleton, and that was the only thing he ever really directed. Besides, I think like a TV episode of Cagney and Lacey or something. And no relation to John Singleton. No, not Rob Zombie.
Hey.
Hey.
Actually, I'll say this right now. I think that thinking of how gritty the movie is and how it could be or whatever, I think Rob could actually do a good job on it. Personally, I mean, like I'm a Rob Zombie fan.
Maybe only if he did it himself.
Well, I never understood all the fucking hate that zombie gets.
Well, we know who's going to get the female lead.
Yeah, we do for sure.
Well, of course, but I mean, well, here's the thing though: who gives a fuck? I mean, if you had a wife that was an actress, like cool, she gets paid, you get paid. Like you don't have to pay somebody else for doing shit. Cool, you got your lead. The moon's not that bad, but like I think that given how the movie looks and how it is anyway, I think that Rob could probably do something with it. I think it'd be good as long as it stuck more to the book. I think that would be not a bad idea. So I'm not mad about the Rob Zombie idea at all, actually. Ha!
And you know who was, oddly enough, who was one of the people that was considered to direct this film originally? Tom Savini.
Interesting.
I think that would have been better.
I could see that being that. You know, I just realized where I'm like kind of in the darkness. Yes. I kind of look like Kane from RoboCop 2.
Ooh, you need to take the lighter. It'll be like that the scene that Dave had in the opening where Dive-Off is sitting there and he holds the lighter up and then you see the creature. Is there a creature right beside you, Chip?
No, I don't want to do that. Probably.
I think there's something right next to you right now.
I don't look. I don't look for these things. That's when they come out. I'm not expecting.
It'd be funny if Dak snuck in the room and he's just hanging out.
All right.
Was that?
Did that come through the microphone?
It did.
My house. Whose house?
No, that's my wife yelling at the dog.
Oh. Is it your? Okay, I didn't know.
That was my house.
What did that comment say?
I feel like that happened as soon as he lit his lighter. It heard yelling.
Lay down right now. I thought the cops were here. I'm like, lay down on the ground with your hands behind your head. Fuck, what I do?
Spider-Man.
Well, there you go, man. Usually we hate remakes, but there are some films that call for it. This might be one. Hollywood.
These are the kind of films that I think they should remake.
Yeah, me
too. The super cash grabs just have a name, so they're going to be watched.
And stop remaking movies that are already perfect. You're just setting yourself up to fail.
Like this movie would be good to do. Like Critters would probably be pretty good to do. Fucking, they already tried Night of the Creeps with Slither.
I love Slither though.
But yeah,
I love Slither.
I mean, I feel like this is prime for a remake. Everything that I don't like about this film, it says like remake me, like make the kills better, make the story more in depth. Like where the fuck did this rat thing come from? You know, what the fuck is going on with this bad rat?
But you don't always.
You don't have to know. But okay. So how long has it been there?
It's underneath the ground. It's under, and it makes perfect sense.
It's underneath there. It's underneath the ground, and it just showed up. It's been killing for years. You sure about that?
Why do we? Okay, but why do we need to know the whole backstory about where it came from? We just know this thing fucking lives.
I don't need to know everything. I just need to know something that makes sense. Like, okay, this bat was under the textile mill for how long?
But why does it matter?
It just started eating people. If it's been there for years,
because it was very clear with all the fucking skeletons everywhere. It showed you it's been killing for years. Therefore, that story's already told. You already know what it's been doing.
And nobody has questioned what the fuck's going on there.
Employees just go disappearing over the years. We lost another one.
I mean, there were a lot of fucking skeletons down there.
There's a shit ton of skeletons down there.
Like,
there was literally more skeletons down there than there were people in that fucking town.
Exactly. Like, you already got the story of it though. Well, everybody that comes working in there, like throughout the movie, like he even like everybody he talks to, like, you know, he kind of gives away something. Like Warwick always has something to say where it sounds like, hey, you're probably meeting your impending doom, because this happens a lot. Like, so you already know that, like, okay, cool, this thing's been obviously killing for fucking centuries, and it lives under here, and they built this fucking thing on top of it. So you know that part of it. Do you really need it to go into another 30, 45 minutes of a fucking backstory about this fucking rat bat thing? No, sometimes like just the idea that there's things underneath the ground, there's things that are like just everywhere that we don't know. If there's an actual fucking bat rat thing, we can't. There's no fucking way we can tell where it fucking came from. The idea that it could be underground underneath you is the fucking scary part of it. That's the part of it that you don't need. You don't need a fucking big backstory. Oh, okay. Well, it was born in 1972, and its mama was actually like, resurrected from a crow, and like, like what? No, you don't need to have all that. Sorry, I got.
I'm not saying you have to have fucking spell out every fucking little detail, but I mean, like, people are people even scared? Like, I don't remember. Are people scared of the mill? Was that a thing?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah,
were they? I don't remember that.
Who?
Like a little bit. Like they did.
I think they were more scared of
working there. Like they felt uncomfortable.
Yeah,
well, yeah, because what else was going on? Like, I mean, everything else was a freak accident. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like, nobody thinks anything. There's an accident. Something happened.
But I'm saying, if this thing has been around for years, there should be like some kind of mythos to it. Like, oh, you don't want to go and work at the fucking mill because people keep disappearing from there, or something like that. Like, you don't have to have a big old backstory that explains everything, but have some kind of
disagreeing now, boy.
Story. You hear me, son? You hear me? We need a story.
Have like the old dude from Friday the 13th. Like, don't go up there.
Yeah, like you need some kind of story that kind of sets the tone for like, okay, there's something fucked up going on there. We don't know what it is, but there's something fucked up going on. And it just seemed like all of a sudden that one night the guy is downstairs, fucking, and then all the rats, he's fucking with the rats, and then all of a sudden he gets pushed into the thing. Like, why did he even get pushed into the thing? This giant fucking bat rat. Why? I thought he wanted to eat. She wanted to eat the people. She's just walking around. Oh, whoop, I'm gonna push you in, motherfucker. Then I'm gonna go hide down in my little cavern.
No, I do. They didn't need all the backstory. See, I'm not the only motherfucker.
You didn't need all the backstory.
See,
different movie.
What?
But you're
oh, okay. I read it wrong, I guess. Oh, Descent. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, I agree. I love Descent, but like, I kind of feel the same way about like there's a lot of like fears that go into it. I mean, like working next to it, like to machinery that's very dangerous is a fear. Like, deep, dark, like places that are disgusting or whatever. It's a fucking fear, whatever the shit. I think that when it came down to the guy at the beginning getting pushed into the cotton thing, I think it was more of along the lines of like, and it is kind of stupid because when you think about it, you're like, oh, so the bats minions were being bullied, so you pushed him when you probably could have just eaten his face. You could have just eaten his whole body, but you pushed him into the mill, like, or yeah, whatever. Like, so, like, I get it's a little weird. It is a little weird. Like, what?
Who found the mess?
Oh, like, God,
the bloody mess. Yeah, someone hid that. There was a cover up there.
Yeah, fucking someone just ruined all this goddamn cotton. Like, if they do a remake, though, they gotta have that fucking line. Like, you wait a cotton picking minute there, Warwick. I'm not doing this shit.
But I was just gonna say, I love the last shot of it though. When it has it just says,
under new management.
Yeah, or like now hiring and all that. Yeah. It's like. I thought it was a good last shot for the film. But anyway, yeah, go on, Mike.
Better get your paycheck up front.
No, I mean it just seemed weird. Like, okay, all the rats are there and they're kind of staring at this guy, and that's creepy and all. But all of a sudden, He's like freaked out. He's like, ah, and then he gets pushed in the thing. I'm just picturing this giant rat bat thing that like hopping along, like pushes this guy in. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And if the rat bat can come out and push this guy into the cotton gin or whatever, why can't it just go outside at night? And it's a bat. Why does it go fly somewhere or do something?
Well, it's a fat fuck. It's a fat fucker. It's a fat fucker. It ain't doing nothing. It's a fat fucker. Like it
seemed to get around easily.
Why does it need to? Why does it need to move around? I mean, it's got its dark little dungeon, right? And it has plenty of people that are getting fed to it on a daily. So I mean, like it's
on the daily.
All the fucking,
literally, people get hired there and they get eaten the same day.
Well, apparently,
who's going to go back to this place?
Apparently, it travels through. Apparently, it travels through the cemetery. Like, so I mean, like it obviously gets out. So I mean, for it to gather and whatever the fuck. But I think for the most part, whatever. I mean, like it's got bodies coming in. Now I don't know what a giant rat bat thing, like, you know, what it takes to fucking like, you know, keep it fucking satisfied food wise for a long time. But I would be willing to think that maybe it gets its nutrients for a while and it just waits. And probably the meal, I would say, has a lot of people that fucking disappear and die horribly. So, like, you know, yeah, it could have gone a little more into some of that. But, you know, maybe you're just looking too much into it.
No, I'm not. Because there's literally hundreds of fucking skeletons down there. All right?
Yes, because it's been there for fucking ever.
Who's been covering up this shit? Warwick? He just paid the fucking guy $200 to not condemn the building. What's he paying off fucking the police and everybody else? Here, take $10,000. Here, take some cotton for your kid. Fucking, you know, what the fuck? And why would he keep doing it? If Warwick knows there's something down there, why would he not fucking go down there and kill it? Like, he had no problem once he got down there going fucking commando.
He wasn't wearing underwear? What the fuck? But like,
swinging.
Like, no, like I know, like I think that he probably could have, because he did allude to the fact that he knew something, but he didn't know exactly where it was.
Well, yeah, whenever you have fucking 200 employees disappear, it might be an issue.
Well, at the time,
I guess these guys don't like. I guess these guys just don't like to work here.
What's his turnover rate?
Cases? Do you ever watch Cold Cases? Like, at the time period when this movie came out, I mean, like, there wasn't really like, all right, people disappeared all the time. A lot of drifters, like coming in and whatever. And then Warwick could easily just fucking like cover it up because there wasn't a whole lot, like, there wasn't, you know, a lot of paperwork and like shit that people do now. So I think it's perfectly like logical, the fact that maybe in that time period that, you know, Warwick was feeding this thing, and he didn't really know what the fuck he was feeding, but he was feeding something. Or the fact that he did know what he was fucking feeding, and it was to keep it level. And for whatever reason, maybe it thought it was time to come say hi. But
I don't.
You know, there are things they could have explained more. Like if they were to remake it, there are things they could definitely do to keep it a little bit more consistent story wise, and maybe tell a little bit more about certain things. But I'll
there you go.
Overall, though, like I wouldn't change a fucking thing about this movie. But you know, I wouldn't bet.
Well, there you go.
So the last 20-minute debate was pointless. Chuck agrees with Mike.
It would have made more sense if he knew what it was and that he was intentionally feeding it, and then he was just covering it up somehow.
Because I would see, like, you remember the crate from Creepshow? Or was it Creepshow 2? Be something like that.
Yeah, we don't need to know where it comes from. You know what I mean?
Or maybe he does. Maybe more like Renfield in the monster.
Hey, I hate to cut my time short.
Yes.
but I'm gonna have to bail.
Okay, brother.
Appreciate you
Oh,
coming
shit.
by, man.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah, let's slip one through again.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, make sure you check out Robert's stuff. There'll be a link in the description, or you can go to Amazon.com or use your Amazon app. Just type in Robert's name, Robert Essig, Essig, and all his works will come up. Make sure you check them out. Browse through. It's wintertime. It's cold outside. Chill out with a good book. There's plenty available. And we thank you again, sir. Stop by anytime.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
Come over.
Thanks for coming to the
John,
store,
man. Hey, dude.
Hell yeah, thanks for having me on.
Be on, brother.
Take care.
Good night.
But yeah, if he knew what it was and he was feeding it intentionally, then I've been fine with that or something. You know, just a little bit more depth to what the fuck was going on. Like everything just kind of seemed random. And like I said, you don't have to fucking explain everything in intimate detail, but give me something where I can kind of piece together, like, okay, this is what the fuck.
Agreed. This is what the fuck.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
like I definitely get that, but I do think that there are. I mean, you know, I do agree that they could go a little bit more with certain things, but I'm against the backstory. I don't give a fuck. I don't need to give a fuck about like, oh, I need to know the backstory of a big rat bat living underground. No. I need to know that there's a rat bat living underground and what it's doing at that moment. It doesn't matter of anything that's in its past. It's not that kind of movie. It just really isn't that kind of movie because I mean, you don't know. I'm drawing a blank on so many fucking movies right now, but like, you don't always need to know, you know, the backstories and shit. I mean, you could back to Rob Zombie. I mean, like in Halloween, we didn't really need that fucking backstory. We didn't whatsoever. Not that I hate Rob Zombie's Halloween. It's an interesting idea. But the fact of you don't always have to know everything about the monster of the movie. You just have to know that it's there, and that's the terror, you know, aspect of it.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying give me the full fucking history of this creature. Give me just something, you know. Give me some kind of mythos. You know, there's something going on at the mill. Nobody knows what it is. Or, you know, Warwick's been feeding this thing employees or whatever. You know, it's just something that kind of sets the tone and sets them, you know, makes some sense once you get to the end. Like I don't need to know, you know, who the rat's parents were, you know, where he grew up, what his favorite film. Sorry.
He's like, I really love the Abbott and Costello movies, but I'm not eating people.
Ratatouille.
Yeah, right.
What's American Tail?
Honestly, what they could have done when it comes down to Brad Dourif, his character, if they were to remake it, it would make sense if he was the one that's doing the warning. You know what I mean? Like he's the Friday the 13th guy. He's the guy, you know what I mean? Like the one that's like, hey, bad shit's gonna happen. It would have made more sense if he would have been like I would have had him maybe finding something. You know what I mean?
Nemo
and being like, dude, you can't. What? Emo?
Have him finding Nemo.
Oh, Finding Nemo. Well, no, not no. But like no, like if he was the one that like maybe found something, it would have made a little bit of sense if he was been the guy that warns everybody. You know what I mean?
Don't go walking at that mill. People end up disappearing. I hear.
There's a
Very strange things. Very strange things happen at the mill.
Pays horrible.
All right, so you don't want Jordan Peele, so we're gonna have the Graveyard Shift remake directed by Brett Ratner.
There you have it. Graveyard Shift. Any final thoughts on the Graveyard Shift?
I don't care what anybody says. It's a fun movie. It doesn't bore me at all. I watch this all the time. When I was, like I said, when I showed it to my oldest the other night, they really liked it. Like, thought it was cool and felt sympathy for the rat bat.
The rat.
The rat bat. Yeah, I just really I just love it. I don't know. There's something about this movie that just everything about it I just really just enjoy. And
I like your Brad Dourif.
If they could do a remake of it and do it justice, I'm all for it. But only if they do it justice.
And just so everybody understands, this is not a sequel to the 1984 Swing Shift movie starring Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell.
Oh.
In case there was any confusion there.
I thought it was weird when I was watching it.
You had Swing Shift and then you have Graveyard Shift. No. Although that'd be a fun.
You also have Night Shift.
That'd be a fun double feature.
Night Shift.
Oh, we should have did that.
Day Shift. Swing
and Night Shift.
Oh God. Day Shift, Night Shift, Graveyard Shift.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't hate it, but there's a lot that could be improved on, and I think this is the prime pickings for a remake. Like we said, fucking make the kills better, make the mythos more interesting, and bring John Bernthal in, bring back Brad Dourif, and see what we're cooking. Get Stephen King involved, where he's like, "Yeah, I'm on board with this. This is good shit." And
I agree. I think it'd be a lot better. It'd be cool. Yeah, Night Shift. Oh yeah. Who was in that? It was like John Travolta or some shit. Michael Keaton, Henry Winkler.
No idea.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Kevin.
Yep. So I'm right about that.
Shelley Long, Kevin Costner's in it. Briefly.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. This was a fun conversation, I must say.
We only watch artsy films.
Yeah, man.
Yes. But before we go, it is now time for our random clip of the week. We will fire up the random clip generator to give us a random clip from. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, no. If you watched last week's episode, and for whatever reason, the random clip of the week, the random clip of the week is not there because of Hasbro and their copyright, and they said we're going to block you, motherfuckers. Yep. So
every week when we do these, we hope we don't get canceled from YouTube, and we hope we don't get a copyright strike. So let's see what we got this week.
Cobra!
I don't want lunch.
A shiver with intestine.
I want breakfast.
Oh.
Well, hey, I'm really sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, hey, I'm really sorry too.
Get a gun! Let's get organized. Calm down. Just calm down, everybody. Just sit down. Sit down over there. Hey.
I always want breakfast when I eat this, or when I see this.
Where are you going?
I must thrash you.
No, you sit down there and you finish your
where's
lunch.
Akeem?
Come on. Everybody just relax and take it easy. Come on. Why don't you eat your lunch, please? Eat your lunch. You all need your vitamins A's and B's and
Whoopsie daisy. Yeah,
So,
they need to
probably one of my. That's another favorite movie of mine.
match that up with the Coming into America scene with Sam Jackson. I will be forced to thrash you. Fuck you.
His ass home. Yeah, that was a good one. Be nice, YouTube.
That was a good one. That made me happy. It was perfect for my birthday.
There it is. Chuck's birthday episode. The Graveyard Shift.
The Graveyard Shift.
Well, even though it's Chuck's birthday, we still got to get paid. So here's some ads for you.
Hey everybody, Laser Trading Company is on YouTube. See some of the videos from Mike's travels and experiences. If you haven't already, please head over and subscribe. 7,800 and growing. Thank you all. Laser Trading Company is also available on eBay with various merchandise and collectibles. Hundreds of great gift ideas. That's Laser Trading Company. Laser Trading Company. Laser Trading Company. You know him from Bastard Sons of a
Okay.
Judas Goat, Nasty Nation, Graveyard Talk, and the Video Store Clerks Podcast. He is the creator of Stoner Gore.
Jack Nasty!
And if you're looking for the latest in extreme horror, head over to Amazon.com. Look up Chuck Nasty, and the following titles are available. Along with the latest album, Decay of Man, from Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube now.
Trying to get some chicken.
I always picture Jack Nicholson from The Departed. I got this gnawing rat.
Oh yeah, I love that scene.
So funny.
All right, before we go, what are we doing next week?
Well, this week we had Chuck pick because yesterday was his birthday. Next week, Mike's going to pick because his birthday was 2 weeks ago, and he never really was like 3 weeks.
A little bit more than that, but yeah. All right, so my pick. Oh man, I've been wanting to go back and watch this for a little while. I had so much fun going back and watching Desperado from 1995. So I said, let's stick with 1995. Let's go with The Quick and the Dead. We got the anniversary of it coming up on. It got released February 10th in 1995, and such a good flick. Gene Hackman, Sharon Stone, DiCaprio, Crow, so many. We'll get more into it next week, but I was like, let's do some Quick and the Dead, man. I love that flick. It's on Disney Plus, Hulu. If you haven't watched it in a while or you haven't watched it at all, go check it out and join us next week, man. It's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, okay.
Hell yeah. Good choice. Good choice. I was hoping you mentioned it a few times last week, I think. And I was like, I'm really hoping. Hell yeah. I'm excited about that.
All right.
So next week, The Quick and the Dead.
All right. Join us then. If you join us tonight, we thank you so much. We thank you to our new subscribers. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. We're also on Facebook and Twitch. You can follow us on there as well. And all the links to our social medias are available in the description as well down below. So anyway, we are your clerks. Thank you again for joining us, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Hey, why don't you put your fucking face on Star Search and kiss my ass?
There's a rat. There's a fucking rat.